Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. It is the month of productivity. We are on day 5. And today's question comes from Ian. And Ian asks, how do you handle tracking future tasks? He's thinking something that starts next week, or thinking about tasks that you uncover during the week that you can't really do anything about yet. But you need to start working on them at a certain point. So to answer Ian's question, I look into, how do I want to be reminded of something? For me, as everybody in this group knows, anybody who's read the blog, Noseby is the backbone of my digital productivity system. So for me, what I'm going to do with tasks like this, Ian, is the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to dump it into my inbox. And that's going to allow me to be able to go back and filter that at some other time. Now, Noseby's inbox feature is great. I know Todoist has a similar feature. And you can even, if you use, in the past I've used Apple Reminders, you can use the Apple Reminders and just have a project called Inbox. Now, the next step is, and this is one of the reasons I love Noseby, is that I just immediately, if I know that it's something I can't handle today, but something that I'm going to handle, in, next Monday, or in 2 weeks, using Noseby, as I enter the task into my task manager there, I can actually use the hashtags, and those hashtags, I force it to remind me when I want to be reminded. For me, the due dates in Noseby, or any task manager for that date, are when they're there to set when you want to be reminded of that thing. This is one of the good things that Wunderlist had going for it back when it was still around, was that you could set a remind me to start date, and you could also set a due date on it. And that's one of the features that I've seen missing in most task managers. So you've kind of had to double that up, using the deadline feature to actually set that as the time that you want to be reminded that the task even exists. That's part of that mind like water that David Allen talks about in his book, Getting Things Done, is just getting it out of your head, thinking about when you do want to process it, and then beginning that process. So just a quick recap, for me, what I'm going to do in this type of a situation is I'm going to open up my Noseby inbox. I'm going to, or I'll pull up the short key, the control spacebar on my Windows machine, or control shift spacebar, and it's going to bring up my quick add. I'm going to type in the task, and then when I want to be reminded of it, and I enter that as my due date, or I can enter a category if I want to batch all of a certain type of task at the same time. So I'll put a link below this video for how I batch tasks in Noseby, but I think that the most important thing is setting that due date right away so that you can come back to it and it triggers as a reminder, and then you can deal with it when that time comes. So if you have a question that you'd like me to answer in this month of productivity, make sure to drop your comment below. I'll share it with the group, and until tomorrow, stay productive.